The gains keep going on and on and on, and every time I open this website, this number is just a little bit higher. Look at this. Bitcoin is at 18.6 thousand, and it's really getting closer and closer to my dream number. Like I said a couple of days ago, in my dream, I woke up and Bitcoin hit 19.5 thousand. Now we're not there yet. It's just $1,000 away, but we're so freaking close, guys. We're 8% away from the Bitcoin all-time high. And as I said before, we're still giving away 100 XRP, and all you have to do is make sure you press the like button, make sure you are subscribed, and make sure you comment something down below. And also, guys, check out the Growth Masters Academy. This video is definitely worth a watch if you want to know what I do for a living. Having said that, I just had a very cool article that I wanted to read, but apparently I'm not the right citizen to read this article. So the title was, "The Week Ahead, Not Fear and Greed, but Surge and Optimism on Northwest Georgia News." But apparently, due to privacy and data protection, I can't read that, which was rather interesting, but maybe one of you guys can check it out and let me know if it is worth it, or take a screenshot for me, please, because I think it's a rather interesting article. And the main reason I am saying that is because I've been shouting here on the channel, by the way, none of this is financial advice, that there's a good chance that right now people are greedy, right, and fearful. And I'm saying fearful in the talks of FOMO, fear of missing out, since people want to keep holding their coins right now, which is a big difference between 2017 and now. Last time they were all speculating and hoping. This time it is more so not wanting to sell and keeping their coins because we know what is coming and because we're so close. So I'm calling it greed, because I'm calling people don't want to let go of their coins because they all think it's going to go higher, and then massively. Right? And people want to hoard them and not use them, not spend them, nothing like that, which creates that scarcity effect once more, right? If there are less Bitcoin in circulation to be quote-unquote traded, the same goes for XRP, then theoretically speaking, the price should be going up, as you'll need more. I guess just the velocity does not support the demand for the coin, so to speak, which will make the price per coin go up ultimately. Now, with that, though, it is a good question to see whether or not it is just optimism or greed. And I would kind of say they're the same thing, because if you're optimistic, you're going to greed for it, right? If you're optimistic, you don't want to sell it because you think we're going to go higher. And the same for surge. I think surge and I guess the rest of the picture, they kind of fall into the same category of just FOMO, which I think everybody has right now. So I was pretty interested in what they had to say. Now, on a side note, there is, funny enough, still a very heavy discussion going on right now between all the fund managers and billionaires and stuff like that. One of the guys here, fund manager, cites supply crunch as Bitcoin breaches 18.3 thousand. Stacks Fund suggests several causes for the latest price surge. Bitcoin's market value rose above 18.3K. Various factors may be responsible, from PayPal's introduction of Bitcoin trading, or because of the vaccine. Bitcoin's block reward halving, which reduced inflation in May, could also be causing a supply crunch, which comes together with all the greed and is really a positive thing, a really, really positive thing. But on the other side, I don't know where exactly I have it open right now. It should be somewhere here, but some of the guys claim then that this is not the case and that can't happen, as it's all just looking pretty damn bearish, right? But let's quickly check out. XRP is entering new bull cycle that could send its price soaring towards $1. I'm normally not that much a fan of these articles. I think you guys know that very well. But more recently here, I've been putting some more thought into it, and I've been really reading a little bit more about what exactly it is they say and why they quote that type of stuff. And one of the most important guys that claims this is Magic Poop Cannon, whom we also quoted last video. Even though I normally really don't like his analysis because they're overly bullish most of the time, it is interesting to take a look at the bigger picture of what he writes, since what he has written in the last couple of pieces do make a lot of sense, right? And again, he is not to be trusted because he could be very, very much wrong, but some of the things he posts do make a lot of sense. So the Bitcoin one I'm going to disregard for today, though. XRP here, look at what he said. XRP appears to be completing transition into a new bull cycle, and it got 170 upvotes, even though, again, most people hate him for always changing his mind and going for the most extreme cases. Now, hi friends, welcome to the analysis. Looking at the XRP daily chart, we can see that XRP broke out above a massive falling wedge pattern in July. Since then, we can see that XRP retraced to the top of the falling wedge pattern in blue and tested its support, or tested it multiple times for support. Yeah, true, twice, okay, correct. Each time, XRP held the top of the falling wedge of support, and now we can see that XRP is finally making a serious looking turn to the upside. That's kind of what this move is looking like ever since it tested support there. Based on the size of the falling wedge pattern, I found that the upside target should be at around the 80-cent level. However, the 23.6 Fib retrace for the entire bear market is at about 0.92 cents, so it's possible that XRP could rally well above 80 cents to test the 92 cents level. The MACD is printing a strong expansion to the upside, increasing the probability of a push to higher levels. Before we get too far ahead of ourselves though, we can't forget about the fact that there are several pivot highs that XRP will need to contend within the near future. They're all around the 32 to 35 cent levels, which again I'll kindly agree with here as well. As I think all can see, this area is by far the most important one to crush. We've had multiple instances where that one is rather important, and I mean, I guess the previous heavy level was at about 28 cents, but I'm going to say we've really let that mark go, and anything below that, like this area here, looking at all the points here, has been a very important resistance turn support. We broke that, and we finally have now kind of stayed above there. Here, at least that's kind of what it's looking like, and what we might be continuing on. But I'm going to say 30.5 to 35 cents is another very pivotal area, as we have not seen a good sustained period in there for too long. And here you can see the maximum we ever got to in this area was about 32 cents, 0.6. I think we can still get above there, honestly speaking. Again, only looking at this chart, by the way. I still think we can easily get above there. But the question is, again, can we stay above? And can we actually breach it and sustain the move? I personally am quite convinced that's determined by Bitcoin's macro. And what I've said before, I think it's going to be, once Bitcoin's gains are kind of over, XRP is going to feel it. And by the way, guys, every time I just look at that portfolio, is up another 5%, and that's just every single day. It feels so crazy to be able to tell you guys again that I'm just feeling happy looking at that portfolio instead of just sad, nostalgically thinking about the good days when our money used to be high, if you guys know what I mean. Every time I used to look at it in the bull run, it was just another happy day. And then all of a sudden, for the next couple of years, it was just every day a bitter day looking at that portfolio, which used to be kind of cool. Even though right now, I'm still pretty much down on the portfolio as a whole, as XRP and a couple of the other coins that I used to really hold heavily in the bull run, they're not up, right? And coins like XRP are what's going to really build your portfolio like crazy. Because, I mean, Bitcoin is a good chunk of my portfolio, as I've said, but yeah, how much has that done? It's, let's say, tripled in value over a longer period of time here, but XRP still has like 11 more times to go. So, you know, even though your portfolio has taken a recovery, if you had a 50-50 split in Bitcoin and XRP, then half of your portfolio still has 11 times to grow to get to that same portfolio, if you guys get me, right? And that's something I'm thinking about here as well. And if I check more about Poop Cannon here, which is a rather interesting name, I didn't know why he would go for something like that. He says, so if XRP can surpass those peaks, which I believe there is a high chance that it will clearly go all the way through to try 55 cents, where the next major resistance lies. After that, we can expect a test of the 80-cent range. So while there are some strong resistance levels to contend with, I think XRP could be on the verge of the next very powerful bull market that we've all been waiting for. To put things into perspective, we can see that XRP has only just begun, forming higher highs and lows. So the near market appears to have ended. I think bear. And we also appear to be coming out of the transition phase into the next bull cycle. If XRP can take out the aforementioned highs, it will be solid proof that the next bull run market has begun. So I don't like that sentence either, as I know for a fact the bull market is here. I mean, it is literally confirmed, as Bitcoin took on almost all-time high levels. So you can definitely call this, ever since March, a bull market. So I don't know what else to tell you guys about that. Funny enough, it's also when things in the S&P started to hike and started to take a I guess tank, a very big fall, is when things did properly for Bitcoin. And now that they're recovering ever since March as well, things are, I guess, following the same way for Bitcoin, which is, again, rather interesting to think about. However, all theories before of never seeing all-time high levels again, they've all been disregarded now, as ever since the 5th of October, I guess here, it's been a constant rise on the Bitcoin chart, as you can see here, just constant gains. The same thing that's kind of happened here since the 12th of November 2017. It really looks rather the same thing. The only thing I see differently is, okay, let's say this is this point right here, right? Let's say the low here at July is the low here in March. I think this one will go a lot higher, if you guys get me. I think this one will see way bigger peaks, or maybe I should compare it this way, that this in August here is what happened in July back then. So this is just one of the first peaks of what Bitcoin will reach this time around. And then after that, if they reach all-time high, then from that point on forward, things like XRP are going to be gaining, like I've been telling you guys about all this time. And so a question of whether or not the bull run has started is, I think, a no-go. The bull run has started, the bull run is here. But when exactly it will switch over to altcoin run, yeah, that's a question you might be having. And that's one we don't know for sure, but that will depend on how high Bitcoin is really going to be going in the next couple of weeks. Can we hit 20? Can we hit 25? Can we hit 40,000? Who knows? And that's what's going to be determining it. So I briefly hinted towards this article a little bit earlier, but again, Mac Attack has posted here, good weekend XRP family, top crypto analyst expects XRP to surge 100 times, unveils new long-term price target. And James also shared that same thing. Credible Crypto replied in the affirmative, saying he has $25 to $30 price target for the asset. Top crypto analyst expects XRP to surge 100 times, unveils new long-term price target. So I kind of wonder exactly why people follow him so heavily, if that's his idea about it. And actually he has unfollowed. Let me unfollow that as well, which is a rather interesting choice to go for, but all right. Yeah, I'm all up for it. I mostly unfollow people if they don't follow me back anymore, at least. If they used to follow me and they unfollow me, that means they don't like your stuff, right? So why would you go about it then? And I kind of don't want to showcase him again, but I already did, and I don't have to be so biased and that type of stuff. The article was rather interesting to talk about. So I'm kind of wondering why people like this type of stuff when it's really kind of blabbering on about nothing. I like people who claim things that are within an arm's reach. All right, I like dreamers, but I don't like to kind of put too much faith into that. So don't get me wrong, you can always dream of $25 to $30 per XRP without me hating on you. Don't worry about it. If you think that's going to happen, you go on right ahead. All right, I might even say it's going to happen too. It could be. But I'm not going to say I have it as a price target, or I'm not going to say this will happen. I'm not going to say you should expect it. Why? 100 times is definitely possible in any way, shape, or form for the whole crypto market, especially for a coin that right now only has a $14 billion market cap, and most likely will happen over time. But the reason I'm saying we shouldn't quote these types of things and we shouldn't put them as like factual is because even though the stock market, and I mean, if you compare stock and crypto, they're really not near as big as each other. So XRP and the whole crypto market is just a small part of one big tech stock, for example. If we were to go times 100, right? Times 10 puts us at about 5 trillion. Times 100 puts us at about 50 trillion. Okay. It's possible that at that point the stock market is going 100 times as well, but it's also possible that within this time frame in which this happens, and we don't know how long it would take, we really have no idea, because 50 trillion is a lot of money, right? It's a lot of money. If things will be the same, and if these numbers will all still line up, or if Bitcoin will then at that point be 95% and these altcoins will have like the remaining 5, or if, for example, XRP has taken over to become 80% of the crypto market while Bitcoin is only 5%, we can't really tell. And since I can't tell any of those things, going for these crazy high numbers like 100 times and such, I think we shouldn't worry ourselves with. Let's first go for XRP to all-time high and then talk about where else we can go, as even though it might just be all happening in the span of a couple of weeks, you'll notice All right, right now that big XRP surge is not there, as you'll see plus 40, maybe plus 25% in one day happening. All right, and once we see something like that happening, yeah, let's then talk about times 100. But as of this point, nah, I think it's too heavy to do things like that. It's too heavy, too soon. I want all-time high. I want you guys to view something that's really attainable. I don't really think there's many people out there who claim that all-time high is not possible, as Bitcoin has just done it. So saying that coins can't do it anymore because they're quote-unquote useless or stupid or something like that, I think that's kind of plain Jane, kind of superficial. You're just looking at it because you hate it, but rationally speaking, these coins can do it. But further than that, we must see, because it's not been proven that it's possible, so you must wait, analyze as time moves on and it gets closer. And another cool article here, Ripple partner XRP utilizing XRP to move money across Africa. Once more, XRP is expanding as well. It's not like the price here is only moving on its own. For Bitcoin, it sometimes kind of is, right? Because they're not innovating that much. But with XRP and Ethereum, there's another factor in there, which is the innovation that they go through all the time. They're progressing all the time. Same for Chainlink, same for Polkadot. Since they're updating, it's very important to keep that in the back of your head as well, that these coins could go on a crazy spike even if the rest of the coins do not do properly, if they get some crazy partnership going on with themselves. So also consider that one. But yeah, that was it for today. Hopefully you guys have thought about this for a little second, to not be too optimistic but stay optimistic. So just go for prices that are within an arm's reach, like all-time high, even though that's already times 11. But 10 times all-time high, I think we're too early to claim things like that, and we shouldn't be too sure. Even though you can hope for it, but you shouldn't expect it to happen anytime soon. All right, that was it for today.